Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Healthy PAWSibilities. Yes, that's what it's all about. Dr. Cathy Alinovi joining us here today. She's the owner and the natural pet wellness doctor. She's here based out of Tampa, also in the Yucatan. It's Merida, Yucatan, right? This is in
That's
Mexico.
right.
But she's worldwide. She's doing phone consultations for so many people, addressing their pet concerns and health problems and helping them naturally. So welcome back to the show. How are you? How's your
Hi.
weekend? Anything new and exciting? How's your
Oh my
feeling?
goodness. Did you hear about the hurricane?
Yes, had that affected you too?
I am so grateful, so
Oh,
fortunate that no, at my house, no, but I have clients who like have 3 feet of water
oh,
and it's scary and it's water backing up from sewage and that sort of thing. So they got to make sure that their pets don't get in the water and don't drink the water because they can get sick. And oh my goodness, the cleanup and yeah,
oh,
there's a lot of emotions with all of that.
so sorry. And all the pets and all the people and all the, oh,
Yeah.
so sorry. Oh my goodness.
It's crazy. And so every year down here in Florida, we worry about hurricanes. Every
Yeah.
year up there in New York, in your land of cold, you worry about ice and snow. And what we always have to do is we always have to prepare. What are we going to do if the bad weather event
Yeah.
happens? And it's so funny because as pet parents, we think, well, I have to have backup food.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's not unreasonable, but for
Yeah.
some reason we change it to the equivalent of Doritos or not even good enough for Doritos. So imagine for a moment it's December and you've got an ice storm
Yep.
forecast. What are you guys going to do? You're going to go to the grocery store. You're going to get a little bit of extra food. You're
Yep.
going to make sure you have enough toilet paper. And you know what? That exact same food, like you could even eat canned tuna. God
Yep.
forbid we had canned chicken. But we have basic sustenance, and it's the same thing for the pets.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have to plan half the station wagon to fill it full of that nasty kibble that I'm trying to get everybody to stop feeding anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But if you need a backup, and what about we're on the road, we're evacuating, we stop at Applebee's for dinner, you know what? I can get a hamburger and take it out to the car and feed the hamburger to the
Ah,
puppies.
yep, you can.
Right. People worry 100% complete and balanced. I'm sorry. Me personally, the only clients I've spoken to who are 100% complete and balanced their diet are heavy duty bodybuilding competition athletes. They balance their diet down to the minuscule amount. The rest of us, we don't do that. RDA, whatever, it's written on the back. Yet we're really worried about that for our kitties and our puppies. Isn't it interesting, the mindset?
Yes, it sure is. It is.
Mom, you have
Mm-hmm.
how many two-legged children?
I got 3 two-legged children. Yep.
You have, okay. So you have 3. I have 1. We never 100% balanced their diet, did we?
Mm-mm.
And we haven't created health deficiencies, and we aren't going to win the worst Mother of the Year award because of that. So I'm not trying to blow off the importance of healthy kind of proportions and stuff, but we do not have to balance down to the microscopic itty bitty level
Yep.
unless it's specific circumstances. So if you have an emergency and you need backup food, put some extra tuna on the shelf.
Yep.
How about that? And then you can get scrambled eggs off of the buffet at the hotel. You got extra scrambled eggs. I got 3 in the car. They need eggs. So it's fine. So we can even do it in an emergency. And I'm not trying to belittle at all what people are going through. My goodness. And then, oh, North Carolina, wow. They don't have water. They don't have
Ah,
electricity. They will have they will be taken care of. They will have some kind of something to eat, and we can always do real food the same way with pets. So when I convince people to transition and that we've got to do real food, we do have alternatives for these emergencies, just like you and I do. So that's how we put it into real world perspective.
I love it. I love it. Real world perspective. And by the way, you are super knowledgeable, clearly. You've been doing this for so many years. And I know you relinquished your veterinary license. You're still a doctor. But like,
Healthcare
really,
advisor, baby.
yes. Sorry. Okay, that's what I want to say. But you've had all these years of experience working that way with and
Mhm.
learning that maybe that's not the best way, which is fascinating because not all doctors can appreciate the other side of holistic medicine in a sense and going an alternative route. They jump to the medications, they jump to, but I commend you on that leap and
Thank you.
being here and helping so many. So, what did you have in mind for today for everyone here listening? I'm sure there's so many pet owners out there who would love your advice and feedback.
Okay. Well, I wanted to ask you
Okay.
a kitty update, and then I wanted to talk about some more of the brainwashing that we've been given about, so that was one example that I gave you with 100% complete and balance in every single bite. Well, I've got a couple more for you for that. But between now and then, because I am working on you, how are the kitties?
Kitties
How are
are
you doing
good.
with
So
food,
they're
Doctor?
good. So oh well they
Okay.
turns out 2 out of the 3 like eggs. Not all of them. But
Yay!
yes. But I had my son had eggs and cheese, so of course they like the one with the egg and cheese better, which I'm trying not to give it the cheese, right? I shouldn't be giving my cat
Why?
cheese. But they
Why?
like eggs. When I
What's
make
wrong with
scrambled eggs, I give them
cheese?
a little bit in the morning. I thought they're
Good.
I thought the cheese was
Okay.
good for them.
I know who said this.
I don't know.
Who made this up?
I don't know. You tell
What?
me.
Okay, good. Thank you. See, I see that's your this is why this is teamwork. You help me with the transition because Jill, people are facing these arguments. It's the little, the little devil, the little angel on your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
You got a little war between the two on the shoulder. So
Mm-hmm.
here I am, gotta feed real food, and you're like, I heard you can't do dairy and cheese. So where did that come from? How do
Yeah.
you do with milk? Are you able to drink grocery store pasteurized milk, or does your tummy get upset a little bit sometimes?
I'm okay. I'm good with it.
Okay. You're lucky. There are a whole lot of people who are lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
Okay. Where does that come from? It comes from so food safety. This is how we got where we are. 200 years ago, you and I lived on the farm. I had a cow, you had a cow. I milked my girl, you milked your girl. We all shared a bowl around the neighborhood so that we'd get a little calf every year. We'd make more milk, we'd sell meat off, and that was that sort of thing. But around 100, 150 years ago, we decided, you know what, this living out here in the country, things for the birds. I want to move to the city. There's more opportunity. So we sold our little farm to Farmer Brown,
Yeah.
and he bought our cows. And where we had named our girls, for him, they were just a number. And he
Mm-hmm.
probably wasn't as clean as we were either. And so the girls were
Ah.
slopping around in the muck. They were getting poop up on their mammary glands, on their udder, on their teats. And he didn't know. So he milked right through that manure, put it in the milk, dirty milk. People got sick. And the federal government says, we're going to make the world safe for milk consumers everywhere. From now on, you must pasteurize milk, which is cooking it.
Okay.
So when we cook milk, did you breastfeed your children?
I tried. They got nothing
Okay.
from me.
Oh my goodness, I could have been a Jersey cow.
Ah, really?
I made a fat baby, but you tried. And the idea with breast milk, we were given it naturally.
Mm-hmm.
It's every nutrient a baby needs to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, it just might be healthy.
Okay.
So, cow milk, goat milk, this is intended for babies to make them big until you cook it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you pasteurize the milk, you cook it, to kill bacteria,
Huh.
but you also destroy all the vitamins and minerals that are naturally in there, and you destroy the enzyme lactase that helps the body digest lactose,
Okay.
which is the naturally occurring sugar that's in milk. So you destroy that. So what we get in the grocery store is this fairly sterile product with very little nutrition that actually has had vitamin A and D put back in
Wow.
because it used to have it naturally.
Oh,
And it no longer has the lactase. So
okay.
that people who are sensitive to lactose
Toast. Uh-huh.
can't digest the sugar.
Oh,
So this happens in a whole lot of humans that they drink milk when they're kids and then they stop drinking milk and then they have milk or ice cream as adults and they're like, oh, I get all gurgly. It gives me indigestion. I
yeah.
can't do it. I'm lactose intolerant. This is what happens to pets.
Okay.
They're born, they nurse from their mommies, they get weaned, they start eating crappy kibble, they go off to the land of human food. And the way that the body naturally digests the lactose is if you continue to drink milk through your life, your body makes the enzyme lactase.
Oh,
Because the body can make it in some of us. If you don't drink milk frequently, your body loses the ability to make the digestive enzyme. It just shuts off. It's like, I don't need it anymore. Shut it off. So these are the lactose intolerant people, cats and dogs.
mm.
So those of us who have had dairy through our lives or might drink raw milk, it's illegal here in Florida. It's so funny. It depends on the state. In some states, it's illegal for human consumption and it's
Oh
all
my
labeled
gosh.
for animal consumption only. It's
Okay.
for our safety.
Wow.
But so this is where this story comes from. I give you this giant background history. Why I give you that is the kitties and the puppies go off to their new house. They're no longer drinking from their mom. They
Mm-mm.
don't have exposure to milk anymore. Their body says, I don't need to make the enzyme to digest milk anymore. And 4 years later, someone decides to give them some ice cream and they get blowout diarrhea.
Yep.
So there you are. You drink milk. Your son eats cheese. You guys are doing fine.
Mm-hmm.
If your cats are healthy, they can digest it. So there's my really long way of saying there's nothing wrong with dairy, but that's why dairy is on the list. There's this
Got
list.
it.
It's got 40 things on it. And I
Ah.
think I told you last time that it's 5 things are real for dogs and 3 for cats. So what you mentioned with the dairy is the other things.
The other things. I love it.
Right. There are things. And so who's putting out these lists? Ask yourself that. The pet food industry, because if you feel incapable and inadequate as a fresh food cooking pet mom, you won't do it and you'll continue to buy the crunchies.
Guilty. Yep.
Fascinating,
Guilty.
isn't
Yep.
it? And so, did you worry about whether or not you put salt and pepper on your son's eggs? Because we all like seasoned eggs.
I know I did. I didn't. We don't use that, so it's actually
Okay.
it was bland, but I like bland. So
Okay.
why
Which
with
is fine.
salt and pepper? Is that okay?
Yes. It's crazy. So you remember the list of 5? There were no seasonings on that
No.
list of 5. So, but people worry about they say, "Well, I made a pot roast last night, but I scraped all the seasonings off before I gave it to my pet." And I'm like, "Oh, how did you do that?" And
Yeah.
they're like, "Well, isn't it bad for them?" And I said, "Good question." I give them the list of 5 poisonous people foods for dogs,
Mm-hmm.
3 for cats. We talked about it last time. And then I said, is there salt on the list? I just asked you that just 37 seconds ago. And they're like, no. And then I say, why do you and I salt our food?
Yeah.
2 reasons. And they go, taste. And I'm like, yeah, a little bit is good for taste. Why does our body need salt? A lot of people think, I don't know. And then I say, what do your tears taste like? Salt. What does your sweat
Salt.
taste like? Salt. Our body uses salt to regulate water. Our kidneys must have salt. Every cell in the body talks to the one next door with salt. The heart conducts its signal
Okay.
with salt. So we need salt. We just need not deep fried, nasty food
True.
that's a whole giant bottle of salt. Right. Because that's where then we talk about blood pressure when it's too much and that sort of thing. But even humans with heart disease and dogs, because it's mostly dogs, sometimes cats, but
Okay.
very common in dogs to have heart disease, they need some salt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you turn over that bag of the crunchy kibble that I'm trying to get you to phase out, which you are, you good egg feeder, you read your nutrients, and there's more salt in that bag than vitamins and minerals.
Hmm.
The salt drives cats and dogs to, there's a lot in kibble and canned food. It drives the animals to drink extra.
Yep.
Because now you've got this really hard, crunchy, dry thing that the body somehow has to digest. And what do you need first? Water. So we put salt in the food to make them drink a whole lot of water so that they can expand the kibbles, then the body can start digesting it.
Wow.
It's mind blowing, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. So I'm really proud of you. You're feeding the kitties eggs and they can have cheese. And if you want to put veggies or fruits in with the eggs or next door to it and the cats want to try it, go for it.
So,
I'm
I
so
mean, can I just say something? Just random people are tuning in right
pleased.
now, but like, okay, so you're telling me, right? Everyone listen, we could just feed our pets regular food and they're going to
Please.
be fine and thrive and healthy and normal.
Right. I
What?
have to give you a few caveats.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Just like you need them for your two-legged children, but
Yes.
you popped three of those bad boys out and never once did anybody tell you, well, Jill, we need to talk to you about nutrition because there's a whole lot you need to be concerned about in the
Yeah.
future. No, you were told, great, good luck to you. Take care.
Yeah, exactly.
Figure it out.
Same concept. All right.
Right. Right. So, and I talk to people and I say, okay, always has to be healthy food, no matter what it is you're here for. If you're here for me to balance your dog's crooked body because he tore an cruciate ligament and they don't want to do surgery, great. We're still going to talk food.
Yeah.
If your dog has heart disease, we absolutely are going to talk food. If your cat has kidney failure, we're absolutely going to talk food first. And then
Mm-hmm.
people, and that's one of the things people, I'm worried about balance. And people make it easy when I can ask them a question like I just asked you. And I said, well, you have hairless two-legged kitties, right? And you said,
Yeah.
yeah, I have three. And I was like, cool. They haven't died.
Yeah.
So yes, there are some basics, and that's what I do with people as I say, okay, how do you want to feed? My goal is real. People assume I'm going to tell them raw. I'm not. I
Hmm.
love raw diets. Not everybody
But
eats raw food well. I need real.
yeah.
How are we going to do this? Are you going to cook it? Or are you going to buy it? If you're going to buy it, where do you live? Here's some brands. Let me tell you what to look for. You go to the
Hmm.
store, text me a picture. I'll give you thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you want it mail order? Are you going to make it yourself? Do you need a cookbook? Do you
Hmm.
want general rules of thumb? You're right.
Yeah.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Uh-huh. It is.
Yeah.
By
It's
the way, it's exciting that you're here. We need to remind everyone how we contact you because we always get to talking and then we forget
Oh,
to promote.
well, cool,
Happy
because then I can
possibilities.
tell more people how to do this specifically. It's healthypossibilities.com, paw with a kitty, doggy, bobcat paw.
Got it.
Yep,
PAW,
that's the paw. That's
PAWSibilities.com.
right. There's a free report. As soon as you come to my website, it says, hey, here's a free report.
Yeah.
5 ways you might be over vaccinating your pet and overpaying your vet, right? Which we talked that before too. Yeah, let's make money for making things better and not just profit centers. Which pet food is a profit center for us as veterinarians. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we hit the complete and balanced. Thank you for knowing. I'm kidding. You didn't know, but you asked the exact right question. So here's a really big one, Mom.
Yes.
People ask me, they say, well, I don't know how much to feed. And then I say, Mom, how do you know on your two-legged? And they go, well, they're full. And I say, exactly. They get up and they walk away from the table. They say, I'm full. And people go, okay, but what if they're losing weight? Okay, good. Then we need more calories, unless they're fat.
Yeah, right.
And an awful lot of animals come into me and they are fat because they've been eating kibble.
Yeah.
Kibble is about 65 to 75% carbs. I would not fit through my front door if I ate that many carbohydrates. And so they naturally get lean. And I show people how to look at hips and waist, and we double check and all that sort of thing. But this is where it's beautiful for my pet parents who are also human parents. You know, you look at your child and go, wow, you're getting a little wide there. Looks like you're going to grow next week. And sure enough, the child is bigger next week. And all of a sudden, the child is hungry next week because they go through growth spurts, right?
Yeah.
Puppies and kittens do the same. Then we all get to be a mature age. And we don't go through that anymore. And we got to watch. We got to watch how much is going in, and we got to exercise. But if we have a waist, we have good energy, we have good muscle coverage, boom, perfect. That's how you know how much you're feeding. Cats, you know that jiggly belly most cats have?
Yeah.
They're still going to have a little jiggly belly, but it shouldn't be thick, dense, filled in like a pillow. They should be lean, have a waist, and a little jiggle, 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 jiggle down at the bottom with a little loose, floppy skin down at the bottom.
They do. Yep.
It's so funny. It's so cute. I liked it. My daughter, when one of our cats lays down and she does roast position with her little feet tucked under, my daughter likes to turn her over and go jiggle, jiggle, jiggle on the belly.
Jiggle, 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 jiggle. Yeah.
Right.
My kids do that now with my arms. They go like this. Jiggle, jiggle.
Yeah, you notice I hold mine down.
You look great. Stop it. I like the sleeveless today.
They get worse. They get worse. And our pets, they start to sag also. And those blonde hairs that I call blonde, they're gray. They get gray
My son,
too.
hold on. He was putting on his football cleats. We were going to football last night, and I was on the front porch, bending down, tying his shoes. And he looks down. He's like, Mom, you got gray hair. I said, yes, I do. How many? He's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 10. I'm like, oh gosh. I'm like, that's because the dye's coming out. There's more than that, but how cute.
That's awesome. I know. I tell my daughter, girlfriend, who do you think put them there? And she laughs and says, hey, you're going to get more. Yeah, too funny. And then I joke with people and I say, I call it blonde, but we all know it's not. So, so we can age gracefully. We age gracefully slower the better we eat. Right?
It's so true.
Better we eat. So what else? That giant list that some people have on the fridge. Do you know that there's mushrooms on that list? So mushrooms. What mushrooms are healthy for animals? Yeah. Oh, you're falling apart. Yeah. What mushrooms are healthy for animals and which ones are dangerous?
Okay. I don't know.
You know those bright colored mushrooms growing in your yard and you tell the kids, oh, don't touch it. It could be poisonous. Yeah. Yeah. Same thing for the pets.
Okay.
You know, the mushrooms at the grocery store that are there for us humans to eat. They're there for animals to eat too. They're medicinal mushrooms, do really nice things. I have heard people say, don't feed cinnamon, it's dangerous. And I'm like, Where in the world do you get that? Show me the research study. Stop making stuff up. Stop scaring people. All these lists, it's a giant list. Okay. Bread dough.
God, bread dough.
Thank you. I needed you to put it on a list to tell me that if me as a human or me pretending to be a dog eats a tube of bread dough, I'm going to bloat. Did I need that on a list? That could be the common sense category. So there are things that aren't a good idea.
Okay.
Alcohol, like a lick of the beer or the margarita is not going to kill anybody. A pitcher of margaritas is bad for all.
Interesting.
Common sense. Yes, I posted a picture on Facebook once of my dog licking the bottom of my coffee cup, and what he was really licking was the cream out of it.
Yes.
But oh my goodness, did I get yelled at? What? And I'm like, you're right. Coffee can be poisonous. How we figured out that coffee is poisonous is somebody's dog ate a bottle of caffeine tablets.
Ooh.
13 caffeine tablets are going to get us all sick.
Totally, yeah.
And dogs big time because they can't break it down.
Okay.
So some of this is common sense. One lick is killing nobody.
Yeah.
And some of us like to pamper our kids. And so thank you for feeding eggs to the kitties.
Thank you so much. And thank you for all your advice and your just amazing demeanor. And you're helping so many pet owners. And continue to do so. And I hope people reach out to you. Again, tell us how we could do so.
HealthyPAWSibilities.com. Possibility with a dog paw.
I love it. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure, sweetheart. You stay well, be well, and we'll talk next week. I haven't cooked any chicken or any steak. I really don't cook much like that.
Okay.
So, but I will add some chicken in, or rotisserie chicken next time I go to the Costco. And
Exactly. Go get a rotisserie chicken. Yay,
all right. Thank
kitties.
you. Already pre-made. I love it. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcasts on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.